fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. First, I just want to thank the guests for being so bold as to get up and motivate me to not be so afraid on my second speech. Okay, I will get to work. Reminiscing about old college girlfriends, purchasing an expensive sports car, having an extramarital affair with somebody half their age. I'm talking about behaviors of men, stereotypical behaviors of men going through midlife crisis. Now, popular media has done a fairly good job of educating the general public as to what we can expect from men through midlife. But do women go through midlife crisis? I'm not talking about the physical aspects of midlife. I'm talking about such as menopause, where a lot of times that's what women are known for their midlife. But what I'm really talking about are the developmental stages or the psychological phenomena of a person experiencing anxiety and doubt about reaching that midpoint in their life expectancy. Certainly women have these feelings, but do we exhibit stereotypical behaviors that scream to the world, midlife crisis? Now, I myself have been going through my own feelings of anger and restlessness and dissidence, if you will. Because of these feelings of frustration, I've been compelled to do a little bit of research on the occurrence of female midlife crisis. I want to share with you this evening my initial findings on this subject. To begin with, I wanted to better understand the concept of midlife crisis simply through a definition. I stumbled across an author, Sue Schellenbarger, who wrote the book The Breaking Point. She defines the main symptom of midlife crisis as a sense that the values that have guided you for many years no longer hold meaning. Now, Schellenbarger also goes on to say that women typically go through midlife between the ages of 38 and 55, and that this period of crisis can last anywhere between 2 and 12 years. Next, I really wanted to know why there was even a question regarding women going through midlife crisis. I mean, men and women both become middle-aged. Why wouldn't we also go through a transition? Again, referring to Schellenbarger, she talked about how historically the emotional upheaval that women go through in midlife has typically been dismissed or written off as a medical condition, such as menopause or depression. Today, as women are empowered by higher education and greater financial independence, they've actually can sort of indulge in the compulsions or desires that come with midlife. Deep breath. To my surprise, studies have shown that women actually go through midlife crisis more frequently than men, and this is largely due to the fact that we suppress a lot of our goals and dreams during the childbearing years. Okay, so I learned that, or I confirmed rather, that women do in fact go through midlife crisis. At this stage, I wanted to find out what some of the triggers might be for midlife crisis, and if we did in fact have stereotypical behaviors. Okay, Schellenbarger, again referring to her work, she discovered that women's midlife crises tend to be triggered by transitional events in life, such as divorce, a death of a loved one, or a child leaving home. Men's midlife crises, on the other hand, tend to be triggered by work or career-related issues. Now, while the catalyst for midlife crisis between the sexes appears to differ, the behavior exhibited by both genders is surprisingly similar. Women can be just as physically reckless as their male counterparts, turning to extreme sports and extramarital affairs. Additionally, though, women do display some behaviors that indicate a midlife crisis that aren't quite so reckless, such as returning to school, changing careers, or passionately pursuing a spiritual path of some sort. Now, aside from noble pursuits such as continuing education, volunteering, and such, I wanted to know what I could do to deal with my midlife crisis. I'd already gone back to school at 36 and gotten my bachelor's degree. I've endured a tremendously painful divorce and engaged in some of my own reckless behavior. So I wanted to know at this point, where do I go now? What else can assist me in moving through this process? Luckily, I stumbled across a magazine called More, and it's dedicated to women over 40, and I found some nice advice that I think I will try to follow. It is that you can sharply raise the odds of having a successful midlife crisis by doing whatever you have to do to integrate the lost parts of yourself. Look back and remember what you loved, what gave you joy, what your dreams were, and go out and do it. Listen to your soul now, and you will not have to start adolescence all over again at 49. As I face the glaring truth of an already active midlife crisis in my own life, I find comfort in the knowledge that I am not alone. Not only do women experience midlife crisis, but we are actually more likely to experience midlife crisis because of the very nature of our role as family nurturer. The success of a woman's role as nurturer is measured by her ability not only to create life, but also to ultimately let it go. From the very beginning, women are faced ultimately with loss and a tremendous transformation in who they are as individuals. Now I have an idea of what it is that I am facing. The challenges ahead may seem stupendous, but I'm ready to buckle up because I really think it's still going to be a bumpy ride.